Hi, everybody. I'm Alice K. Ruckelhaus from SufferingWell, and I'm talking about what it's like for me being on the autism spectrum. Again, if you've met or listened to one autistic person, you've met or listened to one autistic person. We are all very different from each other. So today I wanted to share about some of the things that help me. I started sharing about some of those things in my last video, like about touch and stuff for me. Now, some of the things I'm going to be sharing help me, but they might irritate somebody else who's on the spectrum. So you kind of need to find out, but just to give you kind of like some ideas and stuff. So one of the things that helps me is singing. And I tend to sing like worship songs and everything. So I think the fact that I'm worshiping God probably helps me. I think that it's probably also partly physical. You're actually really breathing. And so that really helps me. And along that line, Wim Hof breathing, I'll link something in the description, but it's a special breathing technique. It takes about 8 minutes to do. That helps me quite a bit. Praying helps me. That's probably an obvious one. Receiving communion helps a lot. Because I'm receiving the body, blood, soul, and divinity of Jesus into myself physically. And there is so much grace with that because it's a sacrament, that makes a huge difference in how I can handle things. If I could go to communion every single day, if I could go to mass every single day, I would, because it helps so much. The other sacraments help too. Going to confession, even if I don't have anything to confess. I have said to my priest before, I know this isn't a sin, this is just a confession, but this is just a temptation, but I'm going to confess it as a temptation because I just need the grace. And my priest understands that, and so he's been very helpful with that. I haven't said that to my current priest, but my past priest. I assume that my current priest would also be understanding of that. And so that extra grace just really, really helps. For me, drawing helps. And I know for a lot of people that are autistic, coloring things helps. Sitting outside by myself or with one other person who understands my autism, just sitting outside, breathing deeply, and just seeing, the animals in my yard or the flowers or the leaves falling or whatever. Nature is very, very soothing. I mentioned before about hugs and about weighted blankets. Another thing is a friend of mine made me, I don't know what it's called. It's this thing, it's a metal tube and it's got some cotton in it that she put different essential oils on it. And so I can just take that out and smell it. I'll take the lid off and smell it. And I do that a lot at mass because there are people around and that's really hard for me. And so I'll have that. I'm not exactly sure why that works. I have made some of those with other just essential oils that I like the smell of. So I don't know if there are particular oils that help with autism specifically, or if it's just having your senses all directed in one place, something that you enjoy, that's soothing, that kind of takes you away from all those other things that are around you that are bothering you. That really helps. I have a squishy ball. And I have a number of things that are squishy, and those are very common for a lot of people with autism, that if we can just sit there and squish that ball or that squishy lizard or whatever, that really helps. It's very, very soothing. I don't know, that kind of feel of the silicone especially is very soothing, but the squishiness. These little things, I had a friend who gave me one and it helps so much. It's a little square and it has little bubbles and you push them through and then you can turn around and push them through again. I can just sit there and play with that a lot and that helps. Another thing that a friend of mine gave me is this. Okay, so just the leather itself, I'll sit there and I will rub it, or I'll just hold it in my hand and go like this to it a lot. And that helps because the leather is soft and smooth. But also there's this metal disc in it that says, always know you are loved. And this says a little pocket hug. because this friend knows that I need hugs. And rubbing that, the smoothness and the coldness of the metal helps, but also what it says helps me. I mean, I have a pillow that says I am loved, and it has John 3:16, the reference on it. That helps me. It helps me to hold the pillow, but also knowing what it says, and that reminds me that God loves me. Another thing that's similar is a blanket that this friend gave me. It's a beautiful pink blanket, and it says something on it. I can't remember what it says on it, but it symbolizes a hug to me from that person. That's why they gave it to me. And so when I'm just really starting to have a hard time, I will wrap myself in that blanket unless it's too hot. And I'm very sensitive to heat. Plants really, really help me for some reason. This is just a fake background, but you see all these plants. I had those put in here on purpose because just even seeing those while I'm recording myself helps. But if you're in my office, I have 4, fairly large plants that were each given to me. And I don't know if just like the way that they purify the air helps, but having living things around me like that don't make any noise and they don't demand anything of me except water. And I talk and sing to them and everything. It's just really soothing and really calming. So those are some of the things that help. There are some herbs that I take, but I'm kind of afraid to say anything about those on here because of just, I don't know what gets you in trouble. So I'm not going to do that, but you can look online. You can find a lot of good herbal things that will help with autism, and especially with like when you're feeling like you're going to go into a meltdown. So those are some of the things that help me. There are quite a few more, and I'll try to share more of those in upcoming videos. Okay, I've done all this recording in one day, all of the videos so far, and I may do some more later on. I'm getting really tired, so I'm going to stop for now. Also, if you would share your own experiences, either as someone on the autistic spectrum or someone who is a caregiver or someone who loves someone who's autistic, a child or a spouse or aunt or uncle or cousin or whatever, or even if you have never met someone who is on the spectrum, share your experiences and why, if you don't know anybody who's on the spectrum, share why you're interested in watching this below. That will encourage us, especially if you say that you're praying for us. That would just be a huge encouragement. But it also, all those things help me to know, okay, is there something more that I need to say? And it helps me learn more about other people's autism if you share your own experiences. And I really want to learn more about what other people experience. Okay, I love you all. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.